In the bulletin, this half hour is a developing story that is still capturing national attention as Agbamuche-Mbu takes over the reign of affairs as acting chair the Independent National Electoral Commission, pending the appointment of a substantive head of the electoral body. President Bola Tinubu is expected to nominate a new chairman before sending to the National Assembly for confirmation and subsequent swearing-in. And joining me live in the studio is the former chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council, Peter Ame. Thank you very much for joining us on Lindy News. Okay, let's just go to the news. Mr. Yakubu's tenure is expected to end 9th of November. And barely a month to his handing over. With the new interim leadership, what should be the direction, especially ahead of the Anambra State governorship election?
First of all, it must make sure that the data processes for election, like the beavers, are safeguarded from the interference of politicians. Because recently we've seen results that there are two Form EC8 printed in Edo elections, and that their beavers are not accessible to a lot of politicians who have influence. So we must be able to have a situation where that is very safeguarded so that we can have integrity and transparency of our electoral process. And let us go to a setback, because Mahmood tenure could be easily remembered as a dark history within our political and electoral framework, because it has left a stain on our electoral fabric. And we need to have people that will come, that will act in the best interest of our collective good, so that they will be able to know that, because election determines the outcomes of so many things. If people can get elected by, through the, the instrumentality of the people going to the ballot to cast their vote for the preferred candidate of their choice, and those votes are counted and recorded, accurately as it was cast, then we will start to have a fair process of, how our governance system eventually grow to protect the interests of our collective general public.
Okay, INEC has come under fire countless times and over the conduct of national election. In your own view, has the commission, been able to prove itself under Mahmood Yakubu's leadership?
No, it hasn't. It made a lot of promises and like taking 10 steps forward and 30 steps backward. There were promises of beavers, there were promises of introduction of technology, there were promises of refining our electoral process, to actually insulate it from the external interference, like how Avela said. But these things were never kept. If you look at what happened on the election in 2023 of February, you discover that the elections midway, and there were glitches. And today there were no accountability, there was no transparency, there was no proper investigation. In fact, with 350 billion given to an agency, I don't think Mahmoud should have gone with the pat in the back and collecting CON at the end of the day. He should have, be able to, publicly state where this money were used for, which hand was responsible for the glitch he claimed happened. So these are clarity you need, because what is happening today is that when elections are not really clear, when people don't have confidence in the electoral process, it creates voter apathy. And this distrust further removes the legitimacy that's supposed to be offered to those who are elected. So our electoral umpire, the electoral commission, the electoral management body, which is the AMB, is a critical electoral body that must be respected, because it's created as an independent body under the Constitution and insulated from every Section 183 subsection 1, insulated from any external interference. So we must know that even that they are supposed to get their money from the red light charge, which they have been gotten in Section 83. So in Section 80 subsection 1, they must be able to look that they must respect, they must act in the best interest of the people. Election is important, and we cannot emphasize this matter more than what we have done. Elections are critical system that must usher in governance and good governance for our people.
And I will ask you this, the last. May Agbamuche-Mbu is now a substantive head, depending on the time the president will nominate a new national chairman. What should be our focus for now?
Our focus is to make sure that there are too many crises. INEC, apart from INEC, that's why you look at the regulation INEC is not just a body for conduct of election, as it was created to conduct election, to regulate political parties, and to manage political parties. I also register political parties. There are too many, fractured political parties. If INEC have that power to make legislative, subsidiary legislation on how to manage political parties, and political parties are not doing well, and political parties is the foundation upon which any electoral system is built on, because they are the primary critical stakeholders for any election. You can't stand for election without political party. So we must have healthy political party and political party special. And she must also look at setting within the administrative framework of the bureaucratic bottle system that is, piling and oiling the structure of the commission, which are the staff. You must be able to carry their welfare and make it a very important focus. Because as I know, the welfare of the staff of the commission has been ignored by the outgone chairman for close to 10 years. He has not managed the affairs of the staff in a way that would have given them that kind of security, that kind of comfort to also go to an election polling unit and then declare the true interest of the election. So these are important things she must take into cognizance as she pilot the affairs for a very short time.
Thank you very much, Peter Ame, former IPAC chairman. Thank you for coming on the Media News.
Thank you for having me.